Awesome, good question. Who else has a question for them? Okay, now they got questions. Let me start here, and then we'll move to you, okay?
I appreciate all of your expertise in different areas. I'm green at this. I know just enough to know it worked, but not enough to know how it works. Main reason why I'm here. But I talked to several people here so far, just introducing myself, and a lot of us are facing, I'm new, or I'm just getting started, I'm working full time, and I got this going on and that going on. What's been your experience in working with people like me who are just getting into this, the time, budget, commitment? Laura said a good thing about you got to be committed to it. Well, I understand that, that's why I'm here. But my wife thinks I'm crazy. My biggest sell was just selling her that I needed to come here. So I think after that it's going to be a little bit easier. But your experience in helping new people like me.
I think that coming here was a really awesome step on your part, and I commend you for that, because meeting people in the flesh is so huge to this business. Even though it's internet marketing, it's that human connection that you make with people at events like this that can totally propel you to the next level, be it through a connection you make. And when you're starting out, connections are so important, because you need to find that first person who's going to mail your offer, who's going to hire you as a service provider. So just coming to events like this, having goals at an event like this, like I want to meet 5 people who I can email, you know, and ask for help and advice, or I want to have a partnership with this person, you know, I have an idea for a product, I want to be able to bounce it off this specific person. So if you haven't created specific goals like that yet, you still have time to do it, and especially out when we're at the bar after this is a really great time to achieve those goals.
Big time.
The biggest mistake I see people make is that they'll want to get a website just so they can put ads everywhere possible on the website. They don't think about the content, they don't think about the visitor. You always have to think about what value you can bring to the visitor, what value you're going to bring to the web. The more value you bring, the more content that you share with people, the better you'll do. And a lot of people just make that mistake. It's like, I want every bright, shiny object thing that comes my way. They don't focus on one thing. If you could find a mentor and follow that mentor without getting distracted by other mentors and stick with that for 6 months, give that a shot, then you'll have more success than going, oh, I want to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. But always focus on value first. It's not about putting all the ads all over your site. You need the content to bring the visitors, and then think about monetization after you get the visitors.
You really want to focus on one particular aspect that really grabs you, and one particular niche market that you want to be in, and build relationships in that market. Focus on that. Start building a list in that market and start making your own products in that market. It really depends on the time frame that you want, for how much effort you're going to put in, and what your financial goals are for that, and what resources you bring to the table. But as long as you're focusing on the relationships with potential partners, the relationships with clients that you're going to get, it's really all about relationships. People buy from other people. They don't. It's not like a computer. It's just buying your stuff. It's another person.
Thank you.
When the explorers set out to discover new lands, they didn't know what they were doing. They just set off, and when the settlers in America, they head west, and they're like, oh look, mountains, how are we going to cross that? And the thing they had to do was just keep moving. And so I think most people fail is they don't get started. There's all these stumbling blocks we put in front of ourselves because we think we have to have all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted, and you don't. Just move, make movement, even if you're going to fall on your face and make mistakes. You'll learn from those mistakes and just keep moving.
Yeah, you could say that. but what do you do? What do you do for a job?
Full time, I'm a sign language interpreter.
Okay.
I'm doing this.
How about part time?
Trying to start a business for SEO, mobile marketing, and
how much do you know about mobile marketing and SEO?
Enough to know.
How many people do you think want to know sign language?
Shit ton. Lots of people.
Crap load, right?
Yes.
How many people in here would like to know sign language to some degree? Okay.
Turn around.
That's my.
Turn around.
Turn around.
Everybody raise your hand.
Just look around. Just look around. Now, here's my point. What happens is when people get on the internet, they go through something called internet amnesia. They forget they actually had a real life off of the computer. And so, if you wrote a basic course, very simple, you could take a picture with your iPhone. Doesn't have to be, some elaborate camera of different signs, what they mean, and everything. For like a beginner's guide to learning sign language, you could take that book, number one, you could turn it into an audiobook if you want to do a little video, a video type course if you want to do it that way. You could put it in Amazon Kindle, you could do it that way. You could sell the, well, audio wouldn't work very well for sign language, but you could do live webinar, like a streaming webinar, something like that. And the point being, though, is that what you have already is a skill that people want to know about. If you go out online right now and type in the words literally, you know, how to sign language or beginning sign language, you'll find a lot of other people doing courses like that. Now, is that a bad thing? The answer is no. I mean, it's a very good thing. Because most of those people's marketing suck. That's the bottom line. Right. And so all you have to do is just be a little bit better than them and get more exposure, learn a little bit about advertising, but you could literally have the product up and running within 3 or 4 days, even still working your full-time job. It doesn't take much at all. It's a sales letter. You can make a video. I would say you do an opt-in, create an opt-in page first, and then put up the opt-in page, drive traffic, collect names and email address, and tell people you're going to release a product on sign language. And if you're interested in this, please give me your name and email address. Now you're building a list of people that are already willing and ready to pay money for a product that you haven't even created yet. Then create the product and then put it up. Within 7 days, guaranteed, you could have the product up and running and actually making money. It's that quick.
Couldn't you see his opening video? The whole welcome just being sign language with subtitles under it, right? Show what you know.
Right. Yeah, and you could tell people, you know, do you know what I just said? That's the problem that you have. You know, do you know how many people, for example, how many people are deaf in the United States?
It's the third most used language in the country.
It's the third most used language in the country. So when you think about it in those numbers, that's like a massive market. Most of the people, I bet you most of the people in this room are targeting a niche that is a hell of a lot smaller than that one. And some of them making very, very good money doing it in the process.
Well, you got my brain going now, because one of the things that we talked about, my wife and I, was doing something for kids. Teaching parents how to teach their kids sign language, that's real big right now.
So you have the huge markets, and
Yeah.
there's so many websites that now you've expanded that almost infinitely.
And I bet there's a large, like a corporate type of scenario that's available, where you could create additional courses for like corporate that would actually, that they would pay at a much higher price point to get the course so they could distribute it throughout their companies. And now instead of talking about a $40, $50, $100 product, now you're talking about a $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000 product, plus maybe 1 day training at their corporate, their events for like 10 grand a day.
Matt, can you help me?
Great question. Great question.
That's just, first of all, I'm really offended because you asked Matt to help you, and I'm like, I'm the guy that you gave you the damn idea.